The Philips Sonicare ExpertClean is a higher end electric toothbrush from Philips. I've been testing it for a good few weeks and I'm here to let you know what I think about it and whether it's worth you investing your hard earned money in. So jumping straight into the verdict, because I know you want to know whether this is worth investing in. This is an excellent electric toothbrush. It cleans the teeth really well indeed. And truthfully, I struggle to find too much wrong with this toothbrush. There are many desirable features built in, from a timer, pacer, pressure sensor, a brush head replacement reminder system, different cleaning modes, different intensities. However, the ExpertClean falls a fraction short, in my opinion, when it comes to the Bluetooth connectivity and the smart features that it offers. You might think that it's going to give you real-time brushing feedback, and unfortunately it doesn't. And that's not to say that you always need real-time brushing feedback, but with many higher-end electric toothbrushes offering that, it would be nice to see it built into the ExpertClean. So it is a very good toothbrush that offers many desirable features and still is for some worth the investment, particularly if you like the idea of a travel case that you can charge the toothbrush in. But just be aware that it does not offer the real-time tracking and cleaning feedback like the Philips Sonicare DiamondClean Smart does, or Oral-B's Genius range, notably the Genius 9000 or the newer Genius X. So I'm going to run through some of the main pros, run through the cons, and then go into more detail about the brush to give you a real understanding of what this toothbrush is like to use. Now there's a lot to cover, so this video might be slightly long. If you would rather, there's a full written review that accompanies this video. Check out the link in the description where we cover everything in lots of detail. If we've missed anything out of the video, it was sure to be in that written review as well. So I hope you find this useful. Let me dig into the pros and cons. So clearly one of the pros is the design of this toothbrush. It's a premium high-end looking toothbrush. It feels really good in the hand. It feels quality, solid, well built. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, and here we've got it in a nice black colour as well. You've got multiple cleaning modes built into the toothbrush handle, which is a positive for some people. You've got a built-in timer and pacer. You've got a built-in pressure sensor. You've got a brush head replacement reminder system, which is really useful. You've got a good battery life, and you've also got a travel case that allows you to charge the toothbrush inside it and charge it via a USB connection. The negatives really are the no real-time brushing feedback. One might think that the smartphone app will show you in real time areas that you're missing, like some other Sonicare toothbrushes. Unfortunately, it doesn't. There's no brush head storage compartment, so no place to really store spare brush heads other than maybe the travel case. And potentially some better value options exist depending on what you want from your electric toothbrush. So the ExpertClean, what is it really like to use? Well, it's a nice, well-built, well-constructed handle and is what you would expect of a premium brand like Sonicare. It does lack a few grips on the brush handle. It's finished in this kind of matte coating, but it's not slippy. It just doesn't have the same number of grips that you might get on some other models. That said, buttons like the power button act as a natural place to rest a thumb and provide some sort of grip. Now I've got the black coloured handle here. It does also come in a white silver colour option. Now this is the 7300. I must make you aware there is also a 7500 model which has different cleaning modes and different box contents, but at the time of recording that's not available in the UK. It's the 7300 model that we have here. So as you can see on the front of the brush handle, we've got the Philips Sonicare logo, we've got the power button that turns the brush on and off, we've got a separate cleaning mode button which allows us to choose between the three different cleaning modes. We've got clean, gum health and deep clean available there. We've got a brush head replacement icon and a battery status icon. And this cleaning mode button also allows us to change the intensity of the cleaning mode as well. So essentially, although we've got three cleaning modes, we've also got three levels of intensity: low, medium and high. So you've got 9 different configurations for brushing approaches to cleaning your teeth, which is really good. Now in the box you do get a couple of brush heads included, and I'll explain how they can differ in a moment. Now, these are the slightly larger Sonicare brush heads that you get here. They're bigger than the likes of the Oral-B round brush heads, but they clean the teeth really well. A sonic cleaning action, the bristles move side to side. You get 31,000 brush strokes or 62,000 movements per minute. In use, you can hear here, the brush provides sort of a loud vibrating sound. It's not actually that loud if you compare it to an Oral-B that's much louder. The cleaning experience is great. It's very gentle on the teeth and gums, and it's an absolute pleasure to use. My teeth felt clean after use. Now, you can select the appropriate mode that you want prior to actually turning the brush on. So just by pressing this cleaning mode button, you can cycle through. Once you turn the toothbrush on, you can control the intensity. You can't change the cleaning mode, and you can set the intensity from the low, medium or high to find the mode that is appropriate for you. You can set the most appropriate brush head for you, the most appropriate cleaning mode, the most appropriate intensity. However, these brush heads, which are interchangeable, you get the two provided in the box, but they have RFID chips built into them because these are essentially smart brush heads, or to give it its technical term, they're brush sync enabled. And that functions in two ways. The first of which is the toothbrush handle actually tracks the brush head. And what that means is it knows how long the toothbrush head has been used for. And on average, you should replace a brush head every 3 months. So what this brush does is track that, and around about 3 months, depending on your individual usage, will light up a brush head replacement reminder icon down here, which is a warning to you that you should probably change the brush head. It will still function once it lights up, but it's just a warning, and that light will go out when you replace the brush head. Now, there is a second part to this RFID system, which means depending on the brush head that you attach to the toothbrush handle will affect the cleaning mode that is selected. You can always override this, but essentially different brush heads will be pre-configured to select specific cleaning modes. And that's designed to try and get the best cleaning performance for you from the toothbrush. You also have fading indicator bristles here on the brush heads as well to remind you when to change them. You can read more information about the different brush heads in the written review that accompanies this video, link in the description, and on other videos we have on our YouTube channel, and lots of dedicated content on our website about the different brush heads as well. So once you launch into the sort of standard clean mode, it runs for 2 minutes. There's a timer built in which will automatically power the toothbrush off at the end of the 2-minute cleaning cycle. The toothbrush will remember the cleaning mode that you used last, so you don't have to set that every time. There's also a pacer built in, so this encourages you to brush the teeth evenly. So you'll hear pauses at set intervals to encourage you to move from different sections of the mouth and get an overall even clean in that 2 minutes of brushing time. When you first use the brush, there's an easy start mode which gradually increases the power of the brush. So if you're new to electric toothbrushes, you're not just sort of surprised by the amount of power. You're gently eased into it, which is a nice feature. In addition, you have a pressure sensor built in, so if you brush too hard, this will alert you. Now, there's no visible pressure sensor, no light built into the brush handle, but basically what will happen is you'll feel a vibration through the brush handle, and that will alert you that you're brushing with too much force, and as soon as you relieve it, the vibration will stop, and that means you've returned to a safe sort of brushing pressure. So there is a built-in rechargeable battery sealed inside. This handle is water resistant, so you can give it a rinse under the tap, no problems at all. Now, this essentially is a smart toothbrush and is Bluetooth enabled. There's a few things to go through in terms of the app. It's a free app available for Android and iOS, and essentially the whole principle behind the app and the smart features is to make you better at brushing your teeth, to improve your oral health, to encourage you to brush for longer and generally have healthier teeth and gums. And that can actually reduce the amount of time you need to spend in the dental chair and potentially the amount of issues you have with your teeth, and potentially the cost of your dental treatment as well, because if you can take better care of your teeth and gum, there is potentially less work that the dentist needs to do for you. Doesn't mean you can skip dental checkups, not at all, but it can be an aid for you. So the app connects via Bluetooth to the toothbrush, and it transfers data. Now, you don't have to use the app and the brush together all the time, but it's preferential if you kind of do. It syncs that data, but the brush handle will store some of that data. Some Sonicare models, such as the DiamondClean Smart and the FlexCare Platinum Connected, actually transfer real-time data and show you on screen where you're brushing, what areas you have brushed and which areas you have missed. Now this ExpertClean does not do this, which is a real shame. Now I thought it might do this before I actually got hands-on with it, and it's a real disappointment it doesn't. Now it still logs a certain amount of data like how long you've brushed for, when you brushed, etc. But it's not quite as useful as that real-time information because you don't really know where you've missed in terms of your brushing and what you're doing wrong until potentially afterwards. So I do think that is a little bit of an oversight by Sonicare there. I don't know if it hasn't got the technology built in or whether it could be enhanced, but it doesn't exist. If you want the ultimate in real-time tracking, you really need to look at the Sonicare DiamondClean Smart. And you may have seen the Oral-B Genius X touted for its AI and real-time tracking. That is another toothbrush that has real-time tracking, but this ExpertClean doesn't. So the data is transferred, but perhaps a few negatives in terms of the way it actually works on the Bluetooth side of things. Potentially making up for it is this travel case that comes included. Now it's colour matched to the brush handle. It's quite large and chunky, but it holds the brush handle and up to 2 brush heads. And as you can see here, dangling from the case is a USB power cable. It's a detachable USB to micro USB cable, but what this basically means is you can charge the toothbrush in the case via a USB port. So it's not only going to charge the toothbrush, it will protect the toothbrush from damage when traveling, which is a nice feature and it's very well implemented. Not quite as well as the DiamondClean Smart, which actually has the cable built in and hardwired, but this one is detachable and it's better than nothing and certainly better than the Oral-B implementation of their travel case. So this also does come with a 2-year warranty, which is good. I mean, Philips Sonicare are generally very reliable, but you've got that to fall back on should anything go wrong. So overall, in terms of cleaning performance and daily use, it's a really good electric toothbrush. I've been very pleased with the actual performance I've got from it. Now, you don't need to necessarily have a toothbrush that is as feature-rich as this, but it's certainly got some desirable features that you might like and may encourage you to brush better and for longer, which is ultimately the aim when taking care of your teeth and gums. So I'll just touch on the battery a little bit more. Built in, it is a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. You get a charging stand included in the box. It's a 2-pin charging stand designed for UK bathrooms. That power cable is hardwired in, so if you don't have a power adapter in your bathroom, you can buy a 2-pin to 3-pin adapter. The stand itself is rated for 100 through to 240 volts, so if you travel to the likes of the USA, you don't need a voltage adapter, just a plug adapter. Now, the claimed battery life of this toothbrush is 14 days. I think that's going to be an absolute minimum that you get. In my hands-on testing, I achieved up to 27 days, which is essentially double the claimed battery life. But the different cleaning modes and intensities can potentially have some bearing. 14 days is a minimum, but you can do a lot better, which is typical of a Philips Sonicare electric toothbrush. You do get feedback through the battery icon on the front of the brush handle, which is nice to see. You've got 3 sort of icons here. So as they go down, you can get a good indicator of how much battery power actually remains. When the battery is really low, it will actually flash and give beeps as well, which is handy. When you pop it on the charging stand, you'll also get visible notification through these charging lights as well, so you can clearly see that it's charging. Now, it does take up to 24 hours to fully recharge this battery, but you can leave it on the stand as much as you kind of like. You can take it off sooner if you need to. And of course, you've got that travel case that offers USB charging as an alternative option. So if you're on the go, you want to charge from a laptop, you can charge it from a USB power socket, etc. That option does exist for you as well. Now, in terms of price, this is of course subject to change, but I'm trying to give the most accurate information at the time of recording. Now, this has a suggested retail price of around about £150, which is certainly at the higher end when it comes to electric toothbrushes. Thankfully, like most electric toothbrushes, the realistic selling price is quite a bit lower. You're going to typically spend around about £120 to pick up the Sonicare ExpertClean. Maybe you can save a little bit more if there's a particular deal going on at any one time. Now, the ExpertClean isn't necessarily as widely sold as some of the other Sonicare models, primarily because it's a higher end model. You can get it direct from Sonicare. John Lewis is another place that stocks it. I mean, availability is always subject to change, but it's not as widely stocked as we've noticed as some other models. Now, because this does have these brush sync enabled brush heads, they do command a little bit of a premium. They're typically around about £7 per brush head. You can buy the non-brush sink enabled brush heads, which are a little bit cheaper, but you then will lose some of the smarter features of this toothbrush. One of the things we like to do here at electricteeth is price the toothbrush over a 3-year period to give you a little bit of a ballpark of what it will cost in comparison to other toothbrushes. The ExpertClean will work out around about 17 pence per day. Compare that to the Oral-B Genius X at 18 pence per day. Or you do also have the even more expensive Sonicare DiamondClean Smart, but that does offer the real-time tracking and is slightly more refined in terms of what it offers. So it's certainly not the most expensive, but it's far from the cheapest. You don't need a toothbrush that is expensive or as feature rich as this, and you may find that other models like the Protective Clean 4300 offer the essentials of what you need for less money. But actually, considering what you get, it's not bad. You just need to make sure that you're going to really utilize the features it offers to get value from it. And if you really want the best sort of Bluetooth and tracking experience, you might want to consider the alternatives, because this doesn't offer the real-time tracking. So all things told, as I've kind of really intimated throughout, it's a solid electric toothbrush. It cleans the teeth well, which is the most important thing. You've got the various cleaning modes and the various intensities to get a setting that works for you. You've got a good battery life. You've got a really useful travel case. It's just up to you to decide whether this is the toothbrush for you. For me, it's a solid performer that falls a little bit short of the mark if you want a higher end electric toothbrush. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've got any comments and queries, leave those below. You can check out the full written review that accompanies this video. For more videos like this, click subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching.